Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Bitcoin will protect you against inflation. Is that true? Today's video was inspired by the claim of Mike Saylor affirming that Bitcoin is the ultimate hedge against inflation.
And so Bitcoin kind of represents the best of both worlds. It's an inflation hedge because you can't make any more of it, and it's a store of value. And what we've done is created a system where I can take $100 million of monetary energy, I can put it into the Bitcoin network, and it'll sit there for as long as you can imagine, and there's no power loss. That's the genius of it.
I happen not to fully agree with him, and in this video I'm going to explain to you why. Now, when it comes about hedging, we need to look at the word hedging. Hedging means a strategy, and if it's a strategy, no asset can be a hedge against anything. When we talk about hedging against inflation, we need to ask ourselves, which time frame are we talking about? What inflation are we talking about? Is house price inflation, food inflation, education inflation? Those are the inflation that we need to look at, and those are very different inflation given different time frames. We're talking about, for instance, inflation on food prices. Food prices can go up tremendously in just a few weeks. Now, if you're talking about, for instance, inflation of house prices take a bit longer to go up. But whenever we talk about hedging against inflation, we need to ask ourselves not just which asset, but which asset in which time frame and which inflation are we talking about. Now, here we have it, Mike Saylor defending Bitcoin, saying that Bitcoin is the future of money, that Bitcoin is going to consume everything, every other form of money, also saying that Bitcoin is a weapon against inflation. However, we need to understand things. Mike Saylor is a billionaire. Not only that, he does have a business that produces over $500 million in revenue every single year. Now, on that position, he's able to take certain risks that other people are not able to take. It is important to understand that as much as he's enthusiastic about Bitcoin, he can afford certain risks that the average person cannot afford. Now, whenever you hear billionaires and millionaires making claims, it is important to take into account that that may not be your position. It's not just as simple as a copy and trade. You can copy someone's purchase of assets. The thing is, do you have the means to afford the same amount of time waiting as that person? Another example, for instance, is The Big Short, where Michael Burry was shorting the housing market.
Great, Michael. Whenever you find something interesting,
We all tend to make money. What stock are you valuing?
No stocks. I want to short the housing market.
really?
He began shorting that in 2005, and he had to wait 3 to 4 years for that to materialize. Most people may not have the same window of time, and they may not be able to wait as much. So that is something else that everyone must take into consideration. If you do want to buy Bitcoin, you need to understand that it's a very volatile asset. Look at this, for instance. In 2021, Bitcoin went to almost $70,000. However, in 2022, that same asset was valued at $15,700, a depreciation of almost 75%. Now, in a short term, that is not a hedge against inflation. I personally know someone who bought Bitcoin over 60K, and then when Bitcoin was at 15.7, they need money. In a short term, Bitcoin can erode and destroy your purchasing power and will not be a hedge against inflation. Now, if you're talking about 8-10 year period, maybe then is a more secure hedge against inflation, because between 8 to 10 years and the time frame in which Bitcoin is very likely to outpace inflation. By the way, if you're getting value from this video, please subscribe to the channel. So yes, Bitcoin can eventually be a good strategy against inflation, but that strategy must be accompanied with proper education and proper information and a good time frame. After all, for every story that you hear of people making money in cryptocurrencies, so there's also a lot of more stories of people losing money in cryptocurrency.
Do you invest your money in something?
I used to invest my money in CryptoZoo, but not anymore.
Why not?
I got scammed.
By Logan Paul?
By Logan Paul.
If you do have inputs on how Bitcoin can be a hedge against inflation for you, please let me know that on the comments below. And also do not forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and above it all, share this video with someone else who can benefit from this.